Hey guys, I'm getting tired of this. It's getting crazy out there in Minnesota. It still is crazy. It's just like, man, all this madness, this stuff is coming up. Now we have a state representative speaking up. Now we're getting close to the nitty gritty about what's really going on out there in Minnesota, the Twin Cities. There's all this fraudulent going on, all this fraudulent apparatus. There's no guardrails. Just the poking and just the revelation of all of this, and then come to find out that man, the federal government is the only ones that have put people in jail for acts has actually prosecuted people. The state hasn't prosecuted yet. That's what the guy allegedly the state hasn't prosecuted no member under all these cases that's been brought up to um, all the people been arrested, all the people that's been to court, most of these cases has been led by the federal government, been presented from the federal government. The prosec, prosec, how do you say, prosecutions have been led up by the federal government, not state, allegedly, not the state. And there's a state representative making that statement. So this is crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're not. I don't know why there's no guardrails. Let's figure out what they got to say. Without further ado, this is crazy.
So the Small Business Association cracking down on fraud in Minnesota, with Administrator Kelly Loeffler posting in part this quote. Today, our agency took action to suspend 6,900 Minnesota borrowers amid suspected fraudulent activity, circle suspected. In total, these borrowers were approved for 7,900 PPP and EIDL loans worth approximately $400 million. But Democrats are doubling down on blaming President Trump for politicizing the scandal.
We're taking fraud seriously. We're working every day to improve our systems, hold those criminals accountable, and move our state forward. That's why.
This is just rhetoric. This is just talking points. This is somebody that got in front of the camera talking to you. And in a minute, I watched this already. In a minute, you're going to see the guy to tell you all of these people held accountable. It's from the federal level, not the state. Allegedly, not the state. So then on top of that, you got talking about they holding these. There's no guardrails. There's no support. You just heard her say 6,900 people been taken off the PPP loans and all other stuff. If you're doing something, you should have done this already. You should have manifest this already without the urging of the federal government coming in and making you clean up your work. And still, you're still not doing it. You're still promoting other things that don't have any guardrails that you're going to find out, guys, about in this video. And it's always, you got to hear the key words. Moving forward. Like let's move forward. That's the idea that gets you. Forget about that. Let's move forward. No, we need to deal with this now because it's happening right now, and you're adding more money, leave time to people that not even from the country. What's going on? Come on, let's continue to watch. What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below.
It's incredibly frustrating to me that Donald Trump and Republicans want to use this as a political vehicle to cut funding entirely to our state.
Minnesota State Representative Nolan West joins us now. He's the co-chair of the Children and Families Committee and is with us. Great to see you. Your thoughts about blaming Trump for something he had nothing to do with, nor did he have the job when most of this fraud was taking place.
Good question from the news, Fox News anchor to now. We're dealing with right now. This is a state representative. This is a state representative of Minnesota. So you're going to hear from the state level, not the federal level, the state level representatives knowing what's going on in their state. So come on, now let's get the real. Let's quit throwing Trump out there. Let's hear from the state. Minnesota's own talk about its own state.
Yeah, no, he's not governor of Minnesota, and that's not how our system works. We have industrial scale fraud here. That's what the attorneys have been saying as they indict 80 some people, and we're seeing convictions across the board. So that's around, they're saying, could be $9 billion. So when you look at $400 million for PPP loans, that's peanuts compared to what we're seeing in Minnesota. And this has been going on for years, years. So trying to make it a thing right now when nothing has been done, when we've seen nothing happening on this in years, just makes absolutely no sense.
So, Nolan, when did you know about it? And what was the biggest surprise, if anything, when it became exposed and getting more exposed every day?
Well, I mean, we've known about it for probably a little over a year, at least I have, anyways. And the couple of these centers get over $1 million of tax dollars. And we checked them out. Nobody's there. Then even KSTP News went down there. We had mainstream media down there seeing no children present. And that made a little waves, but it didn't come until Nick Shirley had that viral video of doing the same thing. And it was just starkly there for everyone to see. And if you're claiming, what, 40 some kids, I think it is, they're claiming and getting reimbursed by the taxpayer for, you go up at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. and there's no children, that's insane. And then eventually they invited the mainstream media, the Star Tribune, that's our big liberal paper. They go in there and there's like 4 kids and they're like, look, we're a legitimate business. Well, okay, we can't, allegedly they are fraudsters, but if there's only 4 kids you're watching right now, but you're getting reimbursed over $1 million a year in CCAP, right, there's still something up going on there.
So Tim Waltz put this on, and he's running for election, put this up yesterday. This is Trump's long game. We spent years cracking down on fraudsters. It's a serious issue, but this has been his plan all along. He's politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotans. Really? So this has been his plan all along. So he says, well, you know what? We have had 70 plus convictions, 82 indictments. What do you say to that?
Every single one of those is from the federal government. At the state level, they have sat on their hands and haven't gone after these fraudsters at all. They've said, oh, we've hired a few investigators, but they can't even answer. Like, we asked them, how do you go after fraud? How do you detect fraud when you do your license visits? And they still haven't answered that question that was asked days ago.
Did I hear that? First, this is the state, Minnesota state representative. This is the big dog in the state level, telling you, representing the population of the Minnesota people. This is the speaker. This is a representative. Telling you it's industrial size scale fraud, which they haven't done anything about. They went out a year ago, looked at the place, seeing that nobody really was there. Four students, knowing it's fraudulent. Speak to the state level people. Governor, nothing did. Recently, added some investigators at the state level by the governor. Asked them what they're going to do. Asked questions what you want to see things done. No response. No response. As of now, no response. He said a few days, been no response. This is the state representative of the state of Minnesota. Come on, this is not just any citizen. He's telling you all the charges is brought up has been brought up by the federal government on the fraud in Minnesota. So they're not doing it about fraud in Minnesota. It's the government challenging this, dealing with this fraud. Everything outside is showing clear evidence that the state has a lot of issues and a lot of problems, but we're not doing anything about it. Why? At the state level. Because they're sitting on their hands. Come on, guys. Come on. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what we got to do with the state of Minnesota and the other states across the country. All these other states. I guarantee if it's in Minnesota, it's definitely in the other major cities. California. We know it's in California. We know it's in we got to see Washington State. We got to see Ohio. We got to see Georgia, Atlanta. We got to see all these cities and find out where all this corruption is going. All these cities, states. So something's going on. Let's continue.
So I have a feeling it's not enough. They should know better, but we have to get to the bottom of this because $9 billion, we could help a whole lot more people
right,
if we didn't have so much fraud in the system.
But we're too busy helping Somalia and perhaps the Somali terror group Al-Shabaab. So now, into effect in Minnesota with the new year, you now have paid leave program, and it includes up to 12 weeks care for newborn or sick family members, 12 weeks for serious illness, capped at 20 weeks per year, and separate from existing parental leave that can run concurrently. So things are going to get even more lenient in Minnesota legally, let alone if you want to abuse the system. You guys ready to pay for this?
We've been warning them about how bad this rollout's going to be. And one thing that people don't know, you can designate one person annually as the person you care for. So I can designate my uncle living in Florida, go on vacation, and it's up to your employer to investigate whether you're really caring for that person or not. Wow. Like, that's just, there's no guardrails. It's going to be ridden with fraud, just like we see in our other systems. The honor system is not the best way to distribute all this money.
We got to look into Maine, Washington State, as well as California, and hopefully that's on the agenda. But you have your hands full over in Minnesota. State House Rep Nolan West, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Hey, this is going down, guys. What do y'all think? Leave a comment down below. $9 billion. $9 billion, guys. $9 billion in debts in Minnesota. This is, now we're starting to see, it ain't just the Republicans. Now we're seeing the state representatives. Now we're seeing people at the state level exposing. We're seeing whistleblowers now. This would line more like a whistleblower, because he's saying things that, and challenging the narrative that the other Democratic supported media is trying to bring out. Like he said, they're saying, they're allowing people to come on their media channel and saying, we are dealing with the fraud. And he's like, you ain't dealing with the fraud. All the charges came up. Are we prosecuting? You ain't prosecuting nobody. All the prosecution. This is a state representative that said it was all at the federal level. It wasn't at the state. They're sitting on their hands. This is a state representative. This is a state representative saying that. This is a state representative saying that. This is a state representative saying that. Right above me. Right above me. State representative saying that. What do y'all think? What is your opinion? Let me know. We'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment down. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get this going. Without further ado, we're going to stop this one and move on.